NCCP and Rishikesh Mukherjee presents Anand. Namaste and welcome to IndiCineGlitz channel. The movie begins with a literary convention where a cancer specialist doctor named Bhaskar Banerjee is being honored for his novel Anand. The organizers of the convention request Bhaskar to talk about the inspiration and journey of the novel. Bhaskar then presents his story to the audience that it's not a fiction but some reference from his personal diary which describes the life of a happy and lively person named Anand. The movie then goes back to the Bhaskar's past when Bhaskar was in the early stages of his career. He was disheartened by the harsh reality of life and the plight of the people in the absence of money. Hence, when he is unable to help a dying man from a poor family in a slum, he expresses his helplessness in his diary as a doctor, pointing out the flaws in a society where poverty and hunger are major challenges. The next day, a patient comes to Bhaskar's clinic. Bhaskar asks him to do some tests, but since he is poor, he cannot afford the tests. Bhaskar then asks him to go to his friend Dr. Prakash Kulkarni, where free tests are done for the poor. On the other hand, another patient complains of feeling unwell despite all his tests being normal. An enraged Bhaskar then tells him to visit such doctors who, despite being healthy, will give many pills and charge for an invisible illness. From this, we come to know that Bhaskar is an outspoken and honest doctor who is against the commercialization of the medical field. Meanwhile, he goes to see his friend Dr. Prakash Kulkarni, who is examining one such patient who complains of feeling unwell despite being healthy. But unlike Bhaskar, Prakash gives her lots of pills and asks her to do some tests. An angry Bhaskar then questions Prakash's integrity. Prakash then tells him that the poor man he had sent for tests has been diagnosed with a serious illness, the treatment of which he cannot afford. And that's why, in order to give free treatment to such poor and helpless people, he just cures the doubts of illness of healthy people so that he can raise money for the needy. He also tells Bhaskar that the world does not run only on ideals and honesty, especially in the medical field where even today many die due to lack of money. Hearing this, Bhaskar becomes speechless. Prakash then introduces him to a cheerful man named Anand Sehgal, who has a disease called lymphosarcoma of intestines, which was incurable at the time. He was in the terminal stage and not expected to live more than 6 months. But despite this, Anand's outlook towards life is happy and upbeat. He knows that his life is short, but he's not sad. He wants to enjoy his short life to the fullest and says that life should be great, not long, and wants to spend the rest of his life on this mantra. Prakash admits him to his hospital, but he runs away to Bhaskar's house, fearing the strict rules of Matron Disa. Bhaskar, inspired by Anand's approach to life, welcomes him into his home and diary and lets him stay there as long as he wishes. That evening, Prakash and his wife Suman comes to Bhaskar's house to invite him for their wedding anniversary. Prakash is startled to see Anand there, but the talkative Anand convinces him to let him stay there. Suman then requests Anand to recite his poem by singing it. Anand then sings one of his beautiful poems for them. A few days later, Anand is taken to the hospital for some tests. He meets the matron Disa there, who is furious at his escapade. She tells him that for the betterment of the patients, she has to be strict like a mother so that they recover quickly. Anand then befriends her but expresses his wish to stay at Bhaskar's house. When Bhaskar tells matron about Anand's terminal illness, she looks deeply saddened. On the day of Prakash's wedding anniversary, the matron comes to meet him and blesses the couple. But when she learns that Anand is also coming, she says that she cannot face him with the terrible truth and leaves. Suman overhears their conversation and asks Prakash about Anand's illness. Prakash tries to avoid it. Just then, Bhaskar and Anand reach there. Suman, who now considers Anand as her elder brother, asks him not to lie about his illness. But Anand, who wants to end his life on a happy note, not on the sympathy or pity of those around him, turns the matter around and does not disclose his serious illness. But seeing Suman's love and affection, he gets emotional and expresses his feelings through poetry. But seeing the always smiling Anand sad, Bhaskar requests him to share his grief with him, but Anand refuses and says that he can only share his happiness, not his sorrow. Bhaskar writes in his diary that Anand's strength lies in his cheerful outlook towards life, and that's why he's fighting this deadly disease with a smile on his face. One day, a girl named Renu comes to meet Bhaskar, who was his patient. Anand learns that Bhaskar likes her but is afraid to open his heart to her. Anand then intervenes and shares Bhaskar's feeling with Renu. Bhaskar then also confesses his love to Renu, which she accepts. And thus, with the help of Anand, love enters in Bhaskar's arid life and his approach towards life begins to change. One day, Bhaskar comes to Prakash and tells him that Anand will soon be too weak to walk and will not survive more than 2 months, so his relatives have to be informed. Prakash tells him that he has no one in this world and now his last wish is only to see Bhaskar's wedding. Suman overhears their conversation and learns that Anand has a fatal disease which shocks her. Anand visits Renu's mother and fixes Bhaskar and Renu's marriage. But according to custom, their marriage cannot take place for the next 3 months as Renu's father had died recently. But still, Anand starts preparing for their marriage. He goes and breaks this good news to Suman, but seeing her crying, he realizes that she now knows the truth. Anand then makes her realize that death is inevitable, but as long as we are alive, we should enjoy every moment instead of crying over it. After a few days, Anand's health starts to deteriorate. He is now bedridden. His loved ones are now coming to see him. Prakash asks Suman to meet Anand one last time, but she says that she does not have the courage to see him die. Meanwhile, one day, Renu finds Anand's tape recorder which has a conversation between him and a girl. Anand then tells her his story that before coming here, he was in love with a girl, but she got married to someone else. So he came to this city to relieve himself from that misery. One day, Bhaskar is sitting depressed in his room. Anand comes and tries to make him laugh, but he snaps at Anand and asks him to leave him alone. To which Anand tells him that he is tired of constantly seeing the grief of his death on Bhaskar's face. He wants to leave this world with a smile, but Bhaskar is unable to hide the pain of losing Anand, due to which Anand is now feeling weaker and wants to leave from there. Bhaskar then apologizes to him and promises that he will always try to be happy from now on and requests him not to leave. Anand then records his and Bhaskar's poems in the tape recorder for their pleasant memories. But then, Anand's health worsened further. He is now having trouble breathing and is not able to get up from the bed. Seeing the condition of Anand, atheist Bhaskar is now praying to God for him along with his closed ones. And at last, the night comes when Anand is in excruciating pain. No medicine is working on him. But Bhaskar wants to go to a doctor who claims that he has a cure for every disease. Prakash asks him to face the truth and says nothing can be done now. But Bhaskar is no longer a doctor but a friend who can do anything to save his best friend. And despite Anand's refusal, he goes to bring the medicine. Anand is now restless. He expresses his desire to live, doing the things he wanted to do in his life, and worries for Bhaskar that he will not be able to bear his death. It's been many hours since Bhaskar left. Anand is repeatedly asking about him and waiting for his return. Renu is consoling him, but there is no trace of Bhaskar. Anand then asks to play the tape recorder. He takes his last breath while listening to Bhaskar's voice. Just then, Bhaskar comes running with the medicine, but sees that Anand is no more. Unable to handle his death, he starts shouting to wake him up. Then the voice of Anand in the tape recorder is heard, that life is fleeting. There is no certainty of when death will come. It's in our hand to live the life that comes in our share to the fullest. Celebrate life instead of laminating death. The film ends with Bhaskar's note that Anand is the eternal energy that teaches us how to live, the energy which never dies. So this was our favorite movie of the day. In my opinion, it is one of the best Bollywood movie and I would definitely recommend you to watch it. Do tell us your opinion in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Take care.